In 1990, at a desert hot spring that is no longer, I first heard of a hot spring Shangri-La so incredible that it certainly had to be the pipe dream of a hot springing hippie. Saline Valley hot springs, the story went, were remote, hours away from even the nearest small town, and accessed only by way of a 50-mile brutal rock and dirt road that crossed over rugged mountain passes. That part of the story turned out to be true, and is to this day. The Shangri-La part of the story was also mostly true 20 years ago, but even the most remote places on our planet have changed in the last several decades. Today, Saline Valley is claimed by the Death Valley National Park, and most of the rules that you find in other national parks are enforced here. A long-time tradition, clothing remains optional at the hot spring areas. Gone are the Charles Manson family, unlimited stays, and the feeling that you have found someplace secret. Saline's 3 hot springs are located in a 3-mile stretch of sloping canyon that heads east towards Steel Pass. Therefore, you have a lower spring, a middle spring, and an upper spring. Volcanic rock scattered about the hot spring area has been turned into rock art intaglios. Here you see a bat, a snake, and the moon. I actually spent 6 months here in the early 1990s at the end of an era in which people lived at these springs as a winter home. It was a special time, and a lot of the old-timers that have since passed on told great stories of the valley's history as you soaked in the pools with them. Everyone in Saline Valley was known by a handle: Chili Bob, Major Tom, The Wizard, Jacuzzi Susie, Turtle Jim. I became friends with the Wizard, who constructed the hex pool at the middle spring. He was also responsible for the shower and dishwashing sink there. Bless his departed soul. The Wizard pool is well engineered, with a valve for controlling the flow, lots of seating, and a foot wash station. No dogs, no dishes, no people are 3 basic rules that have been posted at this spring source for decades. The source of the springs, although somewhat uninviting in appearance, are drinkable. Outflow from the moon pool waters a small palm grove, the only real shade on a hot day at the middle spring. Cleaning supplies are donated by visitors, and it's a group effort that keeps these pools sparkling clean. Saline Valley's wild burro population are the descendants of burros that miners used in the valley during its early mining days, and are considered a nuisance and a non-native invasive species by some, while others enjoy their presence. In the past, they have multiplied into large herds, and it became an issue as to how best to manage them. Unknown individuals engaged in the mass slaughter of burros in the early 1990s, and they were often found dead in large family groups, the result of mass shootings. Later, they were rounded up and trucked out of the valley. Today, they seem to be present in much smaller numbers. These birds are another example of a non-native species that are currently populating the area. The upper spring is in a mostly natural condition and surrounded by a chain-link fence. Although part of a failed experiment, the fence now prevents direct access to the spring source by wild burros. There is an entrance for humans.